Hi everyone, Vernshi here from VedicMathForKids.wordpress.com. Today's tutorial is simultaneous equations part 2. Now, in part 1 we covered the general method for solving simultaneous equations. Today I'm going to cover a special case. A special case for simultaneous equations is if the x and y coefficients are simply interchanged between the two equations. For example, if you have 10x minus 13y equals negative 16, and 13x minus 10y equals negative 7. Now you see how the absolute values of these are interchanged? That's the special case. Doing it by the method I showed you in part 1 it involves large numbers. So I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to add some steps in the beginning in this case. First, I'm going to do it traditionally though, just to show you how that would work. So this would be 130x minus 169y equals, I'm essentially multiplying the top equation by 13. 16 times 13. Negative 348. And then 130x minus 100y equals negative 70. So I add those two equations. So I get negative 269y equals negative 78, negative 418. And that is that is 2. And then I could just plug that in for x, for y rather. 10x minus 26 is negative 16. So 10x equals 10. So x equals 1. So that's the traditional way to do this one. Now the Vedic way to do this one, instead of doing the method I said earlier, because it has large numbers and weird numbers as I demonstrated over there, I'm going to start by adding the two equations. So, adding the two equations. 23x minus 23y equals negative 23. Okay, then I'm going to subtract the two equations. To subtract the two equations, I just make these two positive and add them. So that's negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 9. Now, I'm gonna simplify this equation by dividing everything through by 23. So that's x minus y equals negative 1. Then I'm going to simplify this equation by dividing everything by negative 3. X plus y equals 3. Now I can either do that using the previous Vedic way or using the traditional way, your choice. I'm going to do it traditionally because in this case it's really easy for it traditionally. So 2x equals negative 1 plus 3 is 2, x equals 1. Substituting it into one of these equations. 1 plus y equals 3, y equals 2. And there you have it. So I'm going to do another example. But this time I'm not going to do it traditionally because the numbers are so obnoxious and annoying. I'm going to just skip to the Vedic way. And if you want to do the traditional way when you're doing this, feel free to pause the video, do the traditional one out, and then compare your answer to the Vedic answer that you get. So, I have 12x minus 23y equals 106. And 23x minus 12y equals 139. So, I'm going to add these two. I'm going to get 35x minus 35y equals 245. And if I subtract the two equations, I get negative 11x minus 11y equals negative 33. Feel free to pause as needed. Now again, I'm going to divide this by 35, divide this one by negative 11. So I'm going to get x minus y equals 7, and x plus y equals 3. Now, this time I'm going to do it basically to find x. So x equals, the numerator of x is, I'll put ones there. So 1 times 3. So negative 1 times 3 minus 1 times 7. So negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10, divided by the denominator, which is 1 times negative 1. 1 times negative 1 minus 1 times 1, which is negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. This makes x equals 5. So I'm going to put it in here. 5 minus y equals 7. Negative y equals 2. Y equals negative 2. So x equals 5, y equals negative 2. So that's a special case for simultaneous equations. That is simultaneous equations part 2. I will be posting parts 3 and however many I need as I come across more special cases. Once again, I'm Vernchi from VedicMathForKids.wordpress.com. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.